In this video, we're going to show you our micro camper setup. Yes, it's one of those van tours. She's a Citroen Berlingo, used as a typical errand car in the week, and a cosy little stealth camper at the weekend. Coming up, we've got how the camping unit is designed to be used, how we've modified the setup to make life easier, a few hacks, and some things that we shouldn't do again. Oh, and that burning question that everyone wants to know, what do we do for the toilet? So stick the kettle on, pour yourself a drink, and enjoy the tour.
The original setup, which we had supplied from MCS Campers in Warrington, was the basic boot jump. We've added to it and developed it. This is the cooking drawer, which is incredibly useful. And we can make a cup of tea on here. This has a little, in case you're on a slope, having a piece like that, just to stop it from sliding back in. We can turn this into dining mode. Like so. Yeah, Mike supplied this table initially. The idea being it would fit neatly, slot into there, but by the time we varnished it and added some lino to protect it, it doesn't quite fit. We have this. We wipe our feet. Yes.
Wipe our feet.
Yeah, we wipe our feet when we
doormat. It's a doormat.
This one is just that much bigger for a banquet, and seeing he wanted us to have two of these sockets, we thought we might as well put a third one on this. So if we're planning a banquet, it's absolutely fine. We can cater for that as well. And if you choose to, this is an aside.
Oh yeah.
You can
it's
even
nice and sunny outside.
Yeah.
A little table.
An additional table for
some
cooking.
Chairs around.
Yeah. So that's our little invention.
So versatile.
Yeah, it's very versatile. You can, when you're cooking outside in the summer and such like, you can pop that there. You can choose to cook on here. Obviously cook it here using the windbreak. There's just so many different setups. This can be here, and so suddenly I have absolutely masses of prepping space.
It's like a proper kitchen. I can be lounging in there, taking it easy,
while I'm slaving over a hot stove.
While James is doing his thing in the kitchen.
And this will sit like so.
Pop a little sofa mode.
So that's the setup, and then to move to bed mode,
have a lie down.
Yeah, we're full.
So now we're in full bed mode.
Full bed mode.
And your feet don't normally stick out.
No,
obviously.
they don't normally stick out, but I don't want to get my feet on the upholstery. It feels like a large two-man tent. Now we're going to talk about some of our modifications. There is going to be solar on the roof, which we're working on. That has not yet happened. So we found that these mattresses overnight just slipped. So at that point we some of this non-slip matting and put it here. And everywhere else, obviously, just here to stop this sliding out, and also this here. Just as an aside, also got ourselves a fire blanket, and these fit underneath all the mattresses. The next thing we bought was these window boxes. So these are brilliant. It's just so useful for storage of things that are close to hand, like your cutlery. And these are microfiber towels. They are our tea towels, and they are great. The next thing we also got was a large microfiber towel, which is great with these internal roof racks to simply dry them on the go. Little spaces up here, these little cargo nets, which are great for holding just knickknacks, bits and pieces. We also added to our window boxes a few hooks. Again, very handy. There's someone here as well. And here, we put some waterproofs and bits and pieces down here. I also got a colleague at work to make up our own dog cushions, and it simply has a flap that folds over. I can sit here, very comfy, very cosy. Karen sits over there with the dog cushion over there. Right, these are the so-called dog cushions, and when we want to put the bed straight into bed mode, not bother with sofa mode, because these are our lounge about bean bags, if you like. We have two different size quilts. They've got the lovely teddy bear bedding on it, which is absolutely comfortable, but we have two. We have a thick one and a thin one. To stop these sliding around and creating gaps, we pop these on.
This is usually where I sit. James sits there. I've got all this space.
And I just jump in here. If I'm actually on camera, I'm just sat here, nice and comfy and cosy.
And sometimes I get these quilts out and kind of get all cosy and warm,
and we can whack the diesel heater on. The control is just there, and obviously the Bluetti would be sat there, and we have nice cosy temperature. No.
Just stay here.
I have to thank the other Windsors for this idea. The other Windsors put cargo netting up here, and this is brilliant.
It's a good place to keep the window blinds.
It's great for the window blinds when we're travelling, keeps them neatly out of the way, but it forms two purposes, because this initial setup as we had it, we were trying to pile our clothes on the back of these chairs. We pull the blinds down, put them on the windows, and then at night our clothes all neatly go up here. Right, the next light, this was a light bulb moment, and it was when I was at a supermarket, funny enough, and I was thinking, pesky, what can I do? And then suddenly I thought, do you know what? These come off. Do you know what? This comes off. And do you know what? If I do that, and then this, I can fold it completely flat, which is brilliant. I could put something there, maybe even the cooler, because then I can get to it in the evening. And equally, I can pop this one off as well. This folds completely flat. And what better place than that to put the power bank? Right, so the next thing I thought of was actually getting a bungee. Sometimes when you cook, you don't want the wind too strongly blowing in, and that just keeps that nicely there. Obviously, with the windbreak there, cooker sits there nicely. Next thing that occurred to us was that cooler eating the battery. So the next thing we bought was a fridge, a proper fridge, compressor fridge, and it uses about 1/10 of the power. It's absolutely excellent. And it sits here with very easy access for the 12 volt, just there, USBs and such like, all there ready to go. And at the point when we get solar, particularly in the mornings, in the evenings, mornings, the solar will be on the roof, just plugged into there, so that on a morning this will be getting itself charged up. So after France, our first trip was to Saltburn in January. Bit of an experiment. We knew it was going to be cold, but we didn't know it was going to be that cold. I think it was -3 overnight, and I had this great Heath Robinson kind of setup where, as you'll see from the photograph, we had this here and this on top to turn the heating pretty well from being just gas going up like that into effectively a radiator. A couple of problems. It's very, very dangerous, hence the modification here, and it just didn't hack it. The next morning we woke up, it had been -3 overnight. Karen was not impressed. She said, "I'm not going again in this weather unless you get a heater," which I thought was fair dues, really. So, had installed, if we look down here, we had installed a 2 kilowatt diesel heater, and the control is just up here. The diesel heater cost £144, and my mechanic installed it. The biggest hit, the 144, was the power bank we needed, the massive power station.
So another thing what we do is, importantly, water is quite vital when you're stealth camping. You don't know when you're going to get your next supply. I came up with a hack. Just water, no washing up liquid.
To be honest, that was full, and I think we've been on away about 3 trips, at least 9 or 10 days, and that's all we've used. But obviously, when you get the opportunity, every few days you do wash up properly. But it's a good little hack. Right, so let's get personal about toilets. So we first of all had this. I'll sit down to talk to you about it. It works. It's emergency use only, let's face it. It's if you've got to go, you've got to go. So we used it as little as possible. We use toilets as little as possible. We are experts on finding public toilets pretty well everywhere. And then the other thing is, especially a gentleman of a certain age, came from a well-known pharmaceutical chain for about £5, and that at night again is an absolute godsend. That takes up hardly space at all, does it? But there is a downside to this. I think you might spot it. Okay, right. I'm gonna. Obviously, you'd put a bag in any toilet, but this one would not really be great. You know. So you can see that's a bad idea. So we then got this. It fits in there very nicely, much neater and smaller, as you can see, than this thing, and also much bigger there for travelling. It can be used obviously outside, or the emergency scenario I was discussing, if necessary, it will sit here. We had to work out, make a decision with van life that you can't keep seats from each other. You've just got to deal with it if you have to deal with it. But like I say, that is emergency use only. We are connoisseurs of public toilets around the country and in Europe as well. But we ain't using that, okay?